Well, greetings, everyone, and welcome to a very special online event today. It's called Access the 7 Levels of the Heart's Intelligence with Therapeutic Breathwork. Cultivate love to elevate your energy and evoke deep connection. My name is Stephen Dine. I'm the founder and president of the Shift Network, and I'm really blessed to be with you here because I really see breath as at the foundation of how we heal ourselves, open to a flow of spiritual intelligence into the world. It was central for my journey, and it's also an amazingly valuable way to navigate the kind of tumult that we're seeing in the collective right now, to really bring us back to our hearts, to really emanate the kind of quality of consciousness and being that can help shift things in a positive direction. We're going to get to explore this important area today with one of the true pioneers in the field. His name is Jim Morningstar. He's a PhD psychology. He's an author. He's the director of transformations and the co-director of the GPBA, which is a Global Breathwork Association. And so he's really been at the forefront and done work with the Shift Network since 2011 to help advance the field of breathwork. So Jim, thank you so much for joining here today.
Oh, it's a joy to be with you and to share not only on breath work, but on the heart's intelligence. It's my passion, and I couldn't think of a better place to do it than with you, Stephen.
Great. Well, we're excited. And I also want to let everyone know up front that we're going to have a brand new program with Jim called the 7 Levels of Heart's Intelligence. We'll share more about that towards the end of the hour for you want to go deeper and really apply this in your life. So, Jim, I'd love for you to share a little bit about your journey with breathwork, particularly as a vehicle to open the heart and access the deeper levels of intelligence that are there.
Well, I've been devoted to finding out what makes us human beings tick. And of course, we know that we can operate with different kinds of fuel, food, water. I've done vision quests where I've gone without food and water for 4 days. But how long can we go without breath? Breath is that essential element that we need moment by moment in our life. I went to school and studied other elements of the human being through philosophy and psychology, even got a doctorate in clinical psychology. But something was always missing if it was just a verbal type of therapy. I knew it had to be embodied. It had to be something that enlivened us to our core. So it wasn't until I discovered bioenergetics, things that Alexander Lowen, for example, knew. He was a psychiatrist, but he knew that breath was the essential element that kept us alive and helped us change. So I experimented for many years with enlightenment intensives and other forms of exploration in the field, and it always came back to breath. This led me to starting a school in which I could share with others all of the consciousness raising techniques that I had experienced and have breath work as the thread that ran through all of the teachings. 33 years I taught the School of Integrative Psychology, and many of the people who graduated from that school are now teachers and have their own schools. So breathwork has been something that I have lived and also wanted to bring to the world. In 2001, I helped bring the first Global Inspiration Conference, sponsored by the International Breathwork Foundation, to the United States. And here 22 schools got together, because even in 2001, it had been going for many years, and we knew that we had to have some guidelines to make this a profession, something that would help students learn and grow the breadth of it and not just get wowed by getting high with it or getting other people excited by it, but something that would give substance and longevity to it as a valid healing art. At that time, in 2001, we started the beginnings of what is called the Global Professional Breathwork Alliance, which sets standards for training and ethics, and still does to this day. Now, many schools of breathwork, because it's proliferating around the world now, many schools of breathwork focus on the health aspects of it and even performance, how to enhance one's performance. Other schools of breathwork will focus on emotional and cognitive healing, mental clarity. But for me, underneath all forms of breathwork is the spirit.
Mm.
And nothing has articulated the brilliance, the clarity, the compassion of the breath more than the 7 levels of the heart's intelligence, which I first came upon through the work of Glenda Green in her book, Love Without End. Since then, I've incorporated it into every element of my teaching. And people who have understood this have not just changed how they deliver breath work, but how they live.
Mm.
So I cannot be more thrilled than when the Shift Network asked if I wanted to teach something this year. I was beside myself. Didn't have a question. Of course, I want to share the 7 levels of the heart's intelligence, and I'm delighted to be able to do that with you this year.
Wow. Well, it's such a legacy you have, an amazing service. And so let's dive into the 7 levels of the heart's intelligence. First of all, let's delineate what they are, and then how breath can really be a vehicle to open and explore these pathways to really to the embodiment of love and our higher intelligence in a deeper way.
Well, to me, getting clear that love is who I am, not something I have, not something I gain or lose, not something I strive to learn about. I do strive to embody and incorporate and become more aware of what's natural to me. But love is the glue that holds the universe together. It's not just a nice sentimental attribute. And so learning what love essentially is was step 1. Then, how is love embodied? You know, we can talk about we are love. Well, how do we feel that? How do we experience that? It is through the Sacred Heart. The Sacred Heart is a magnetic vortex in the human body, which takes experience and intuition from all cosmic sources, spiritual sources, human sources, and assimilates them and puts them into our particular unique way of loving the world, of delivering our service to the world. You know, every inhale takes in 1 million particles from the universe around us, which go through our body, go right down into our mitochondria, are cleansed and heals and sends out waste products, and every exhale sends 1 million particles back into the universe with our stamp of love on them. So things that you are breathing, your breath right now, or my breath right now, or Stephen's breath right now, will be on the other side of the planet within a week. We literally touch other people with our breath. And to know that this breath that has been delivered through the agency of, on the physical level, our heart pumping blood, but on the spiritual level of our putting the stamp of love on it, has levels of intelligence. And to know these levels of intelligence now doesn't mean, oh, we're better than anyone else, or we've got the secret that will save us. We all intuitively know these things. And as I mention these levels to you, you'll recognize, oh, I know these words, I know the. What we're doing differently, though, is we're going to the heart of what each of these means and how they're incorporated and how they're intelligence. They're not just nice commodities. They're not just nice virtues. They are ways that change not only how we breathe, but how we treat others and how we treat ourselves. So in the Sacred Heart, which is along the center line of our body, and we're going to be doing a little exercise with this in a few minutes so that you get an experience of it, not just the words about it. But as we learn to access our Sacred Heart, we'll want to go there every morning and every evening. To me, it's essential in my life right now to go to the timeless place in order to put my time in order. And as I enter into the Sacred Heart, as I said, we're going to play with in a few minutes, I first experienced the vastness of the universe. And I recognize that I've been given the opportunity to be one with the all. I am one with Spirit, which is what animates everything from atoms to conclaves of people to nations to worlds throughout the multi-universe. It's truly mind-blowing because the mind cannot understand these things. The mind cannot grok what it means to truly be one with all. But there's a dialogue that goes on in our life. We are at one and the same time one with all, and we're an aspect of the all that the one is watching. Right now, the one is watching you and I and Stephen on this video. And we have the capacity to be one with that omniscient view and see us all there joining together in this video. When I go past to the next level of intelligence, I'm in the intelligence of love. And as I said, love is the glue that holds us all together. And I start to recognize that love is informing me. If I stay tuned to it, it is helping me make the most minute as well as the great decisions in my life. And it's helping me see the connections that I have with every sentient being. That takes us into the next level, which is life itself. Life itself is not a script given us by Creator, which we have to live out. Life itself is the unfolding of our existence right before us. It has surprises for us every day. Every day I, like many people, I have my to-do list. I knew I was going to come here and talk to you today. It was on, but, Stephen threw me a curveball and says, okay, Jim, put your script away and let's just talk from your heart. And I said, okay, Stephen, I'm willing to try it. So that's what we're doing.
That's great. Well, it's really clear. We can really feel your heart and everything you're saying, and it's so grounded in real experiences. So let's keep diving into these levels and how they've disclosed in your own life.
Well, once I have recognized that I am life, it's not just I was put on a roller coaster and sent off on a ride. I am life, and I have something to say about the outcome of where this life is going for me. I'm not in my mind, it has plans for me. I make my holistic business plan. I do, I have all these ideas about where I'd like to go, and that's great. I think it's good. We use our ideas, and our mind is not the enemy. It is a tool, just like the computer is a tool. But you can't go on the computer and ask Wikipedia your purpose for living. All a computer can do is spit out what's been programmed, and that's how our minds are. They spit out and go on past experience what's been programmed. So when I step beyond that intelligence of life, I come into respect. What does that mean? It means that I know that everyone I meet has their own unique covenant with Source. I have mine, and they have theirs. And if I can respect my reason for being here, I can begin to respect they have a reason. They're not here to do the same thing I'm doing, or to be a clone of what I think the good person should be. I start to have respect for each person's connection with Source. And so, as Joshua said, the street person, whoever it is that I run into every day, including the politicians or the business people, I have a respect for their right to live and their right to learn along the road of life, even if I totally disagree with what they're doing. This is very important for us at this stage in our journey, because there's been many shifts in consciousness that have happened on our planet, and they keep seeming to happen quicker and bigger. It's important that we keep respect for every human being. And from a position of respect, we actually have more ability to communicate and to influence from love and unity. You see, each level builds upon the other. After respect comes honesty. And honesty is not just telling the truth when it suits me. Honesty means I, first of all, am honest with myself. I don't believe that I have to somehow lie, connive, twist things around in order to get what I want because I'm at a disadvantage. The example is given about Helen Keller. Who would think that she had an advantage in life? Well, she lived from her truth, respect for the life that was given her, even though she didn't have sight or hearing. And she contributed tremendously to the world and to our respect and our ability to be honest about what our tools are, what our gifts are, finding our signature strengths, and again, honoring others, but not to live by trying to emulate and be someone else. It's a tremendous boost in self-esteem if I can be honest about what I really have and what I really have to offer. Past honesty, we step into justice. Justice is not about following the rules, getting punished for not obeying the rules. Justice is about fairness in proportions, in give and take, in all the relationships that we have in our life. There is a right proportion of doing the right thing. And when we're operating from a sense of justice, then we're not always looking for the loopholes. We're not always, or even worried about others having loopholes. And we got to stop them. And we got to, no, I know that I've been given the freedom, the creativity, and the love, and all the resources that I need to fulfill my life. And so I don't have to try to take advantage of or get extra credit that's not due to me. In fact, if someone is not at the store charging me the right price, well, of course, I tell them, no, you've undercharged me. Here is what you deserve. Here's what is owed to you. And I do that in all of my relationships. And this brings us to the seventh level of the heart's intelligence, which is kindness. Kindness is the will of the Creator for all humans. It's not an appropriation of the haves to the have-nots. No, kindness is a built-in sensitivity that allows us to have forgiveness, not only for ourselves, but for all those who walk on the planet, all sentient beings, animals, plants. Kindness, when it is lived, when it is my nature, not something I have to try to do in order to get merit in heaven, because we are creating heaven right here on earth with these keys of the heart's intelligence. That leads us to compassion. And compassion is the greatest intelligence of all.
Such beautiful wisdom in what you've just shared, Jim. It's really clear that this just emanates from your core. It's who you are, as you're saying, not just what you're trying to do or trying to aspire to. It's like really a natural outflowing of your nature that has come from breathwork practice to really connect and line everything up and just be who you truly are. So I love the way you formulated that in terms of the different levels and how they culminate in compassion and the kindness of the universe expressing through us. What a beautiful vision. And, you know, comes at an appropriate time since we often are surrounded by news cycles that are all about combat and aggression and domination. And so just to get back to the core of who we are and emanate that, what a beautiful gift that is.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Yes. That balance between domination that goes on is not just countries trying to colonize one another or something. It comes down to even inside of us. It's my love for sweets that wants to dominate my ideas of what's healthy. It's my, these internal dialogues are going on continuously. And so when I bring peace to my own heart and to my own life, I'm in a position to emanate peace in the world. Rather than trying to control you to be how I think you should be, and then I'll be okay.
Mm-hmm. Nice. We are the microcosm for the whole.
Yes.
Beautiful wisdom. I know that one of the things that you've talked about and taught about is innocent perception. I'd love for you to share a little bit about how that weaves into this activation of the heart's intelligence.
Well, innocent perception takes us out of the mind, because the mind is a binary computer. Good, bad, right, wrong. It's always making projections onto everything we see. Well, we see a mother and a child at the grocery store, and the mother is giving the child a spanking because they were too loud or running around. And oh, what are we seeing? All of our judgments come out, and bad mother and poor child, and seeing with innocent perception is like a child seeing a caterpillar for the first time. It's not saying, oh, this is from the genus this and the species that, and it's not categorizing. It's in wonder at what it's seeing. And then that innocent perception can lead to an action which inspires the innocence and the purity in those around us. So in the grocery store, instead of just running to the next aisle, I might just say, oh, it looks like you have quite an active little child there who likes to get around. oh, what a cute teddy bear he has, and what a, all of a sudden you're just emanating a sense of acceptance and clarity, which can de-escalate the fear that we have in life when we're separated from Source. We learn to differentiate between when we're looking through the eyes of love and when we're looking through the eyes of fear. And our body will tell us, if we learn to listen, right now, what I'm seeing is coming from my fear-based mind, not from my love-based heart.
Beautiful. Can you share a little bit? I know you're going to do a demonstration for us, but you share us a little bit about the practice of opening these different dimensions of the heart with breath. How do you sort of breathe into each one and open to these different layers and dimensions?
That's exactly what we're going to do right now in our exercise, Stephen.
Okay, great. Well, we could jump in and do it.
Yeah. All right. Well, I would like to, first of all, have everyone get yourself comfortably situated, because this is going to take about 10 minutes or so, and we're going to spend time inside, going inside and learning from our own heart. So breath is the rainbow bridge that connects us to our source. So this is a simple yet a profound breathing exercise that will take us into our own sacred heart. So as you're comfortably seated, your spine is relatively straight, not rigid. Imagine a ball of light, radiant energy at the base of your spine. This is your life force given to you by Creator, with which you create and maintain your body in health and well-being. As you inhale now, bring that ball of light energy slowly up your back to the top of your head. And as you exhale without pause, let it come down the front of your body, back to the base of your spine. Continue now easily breathing up the back, sending a light, nurturing energy to every vertebrae and all the nerve fibers that go out from those vertebrae to the 300 trillion cells of your body that have hungered and thirsted for this pure, loving energy. As you come down the front of your body, sending it to every vital organ, like a conductor tapping a baton on the podium, bringing all of your vital organs into harmony. The simple act now of inhaling up the back, sending a loving, nurturing energy to every vertebrae and down letting it cascade down the front. You relax as you exhale. Let it come down back to the sacred heart. Now you, just in this simple act, are creating a cocoon of light healing energy. This is your sanctuary. And it's like a cell membrane going around your body. As we know from epigenetics, that you give instructions to your cell membrane now to let in only what serves your highest in this time right now. And as you exhale, to let out what's no longer needed, what's toxic or outlived its welcome. And so each breath is helping you create a space of safety, protection, and nourishment. You can feel your body and the field around you starting to become lighter. Now, in the center of this cocoon, or this cell, is the nucleus, or the sacred heart. And this is your Holy of Holies. This is the place that you want to enter with a sense of purity. As you enter into your Sacred Heart, the first dimension of the heart's intelligence is unity. And this could be overwhelming. That is experiencing being one with all. This is your birthright and covenant with the Creator, as well as the foundation for all intelligence. There's no separation between you and the infinite, and your mind cannot understand this, but your heart is the doorway to the infinite. Now, for a moment, simply breathe easy and rest in your connection to all that is. Now, the next breath will take you to the second level of the heart's intelligence, which is love. As you open to love, you can experience the magnetic attraction to all sentient beings, which essentially opens you to truly understanding the other. Let yourself breathe easy and feel the connection in your heart to all others. Now let your next breath take you into the intelligence of life. Life is your experience of your existence manifesting before you, bringing forth the challenges and the resources that you need to deal with those challenges. Get the sense of being in that flow of the intelligence of life, that your path can be with more certitude and more joy. Life is not set up to hurt you. Life is set up to give you the exact opportunities that you might need to stretch and to love even more and to feel more connection of unity. Each level builds upon the one that came before it. There's no winning or losing in life, just gifts of learning with love. Again, let yourself breathe easy and feel this in your heart. Then take a breath and step into the intelligence of respect. When you have respect for life and your place in it, so is it easier to respect and honor the covenant that every human being has with their source. It is unique, and yet it's complementary to ours. There's no struggle for who's better or who's worse. Feel this respect now as best you can for living in a world of mutuality. Mutuality and respect for our differences and our similarities. The key here now is feeling this, not thinking about it, not wondering, oh, how can that be? It's feeling it. Our heart knows the truth of it. I get tingles as I feel living in that kind of a world. Now take a breath into the intelligence of honesty. It's that place that allows you to see and tell your truth without fear, thus making your life less complicated or scary. It's knowing in your heart that the truth will set you free. Now breathe easy and notice how this can change the quality of your life and your relationships. Breathing with honesty is breathing with confidence. The universe has your back. The universe is enjoying you right now, doing this little exercise. Then take a breath into the intelligence of justice. This is not about laws and consequences. Justice gives you the power to see what's a fair balance and just proportions, and to live with an inner sense of rightness. Breathe into this experience of how the intelligence of justice can contribute to your feeling of fulfillment that supports the fulfillment of those around you. And finally, breathe into the intelligence of kindness. This is the Creator's wish for all humanity. It is the core of each and every relationship towards yourself and others. Feel the intelligence of kindness emanating from your heart and permeating your life now. Now, all of these 7 levels of your heart's intelligence culminate in compassion. To live a life of compassion is to bring the true power of love back into not just your world, but to our universe. Oh, how can little old me have that kind of influence, is what the mind would say, because the mind is scared of being marginalized. It wants to keep us in an identity of the carpenter, the librarian, the lost child, the traumatized person. It wants to keep us in an identity that stifles our true beingness. Our heart is always operating and guiding us, whether we pay attention to it, whether we know it, don't know it. It is leading us along our life path to the light. And no matter how long it takes, or how many lives it takes, it is our destiny. Knowing the 7 levels of the heart's intelligence are simply gifts that help us open up and appreciate and savor our life more. Truly, as I was doing this with you right now, I was having joy bubbles come up, just imagining life being this way on the planet. You know, and my mind is over there, oh, they can't, this doesn't work. You know, it's like, okay, just be gentle with your mind. Your mind is a perfect servant and a terrible master. And so we have this opportunity now to join together in community, because community is what really strengthens. And so Stephen talked about, we will be doing a class, 7-week class, and immersing ourselves now in this quality of being for 7 weeks. And community is really where breath and the power of breath and love are reinforced.
Mm. So delightful. I love the little joy bubbles, Jim. And yeah, I know I want to talk about your upcoming course is a beautiful way to really take this practice deeper. But maybe first, just share a little bit about more how you weave your breathwork practice into your daily life. How do you sort of make this into something that's just sustaining you and creating these joy bubbles in the midst of a lot of apparent chaos in the world?
Well, first of all, I say the brand, so to speak, or what I call therapeutic breathwork, is a toolbox. It's not a way of breathing, or here's a right way and here's a wrong way of breathing. It's a toolbox of various breathing techniques, and I like to say the right breath for the right moment. And so last night, as I was laying in bed and thinking about sharing this video today, you know, the part of me that says, oh, Stephen isn't going to let you use your notes. And so I was breathing a little faster, kind of, using, that's the kind of breath you use when you're reviving old past trauma. Oh, I was shamed in front of.
Oh, really? You literally were anticipating that in advance, and I wasn't going to.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, for sure. Oh, yeah. The mind is back there. It knows what's coming.
That's funny.
And so every morning, though, I will do coherent breathing. And I'll do that with my guides. And so that coherent breathing is 5 seconds breathing in, 5 seconds, 5 to 6 seconds breathing in, 5 to 6 seconds breathing out. And we're going to actually go through 7 different breathing techniques in the class. Every class is going to be anchored in a breathing technique. And coherent breathing is one that will bring you into coherence, balance of your mental and your emotional life. It's actually been, as you know, Stephen, scientifically verified. Coherent breathing is the only thing the FDA recognizes as a valid way of reducing blood pressure other than a drug.
Hmm.
So I will use coherent breathing in the morning. I'll use circular breathing, that's what we did, up the back, down the front, connecting with the guides. And in general, if I'm trying to calm down, go to sleep at night, I will use like a 4-7-8 breathing, which is 4 inhale, 7 hold, 8 exhale, which is emphasizing the exhale. And that really brings calmness to it. If, on the other hand, I'm going out for a brisk walk or something like that, well, the inhale is going to be longer than the exhale. And so we learn a variety of different techniques and when and how to use them. We're not always, though, controlling our breath, okay? It's not about being in control. We use the techniques just to get us back into that state of flow, and then it just comes naturally to us.
Mm.
So believe me, I am using breath awareness all day long. And when appropriate, assisting it, modulating it a little bit.
Well, Jim, you're just such a buoyant, refreshing, beautiful soul that just radiates through, like you're a living example of the power of breathwork. So let's talk about your upcoming course in more detail, which folks can find at the URL heartbreathwork.com, heartbreathwork.com. And it's called The 7 Levels of the Heart's Intelligence, Therapeutic Breathwork for Emotional Healing and Spiritual Growth. So this is a 7-week program. You don't have to have any background with breathwork. Jim will really take you through all the foundations and the practices, and it'll be a community journey together, which I think will be so uplifting to be in this field of shared practice, shared joy, of reorienting ourselves to the kindness, compassion, and love in the universe in a way that helps us to really emanate that which we are here to create. So Jim, I'd love for you to share some of your intentions for this program and what people will come away with. And then I'll read out the module titles so you can give us a preview of what's coming with each.
Yes. Well, first of all, just as we started out today, to really experience the love that you are. I know that sounds like a fantastic idea, but we're taking it out of the mental and putting it into the sacred heart of the body. And so learning how to locate and be in your sacred heart every day. We go about our life and go to the grocery store and go to work and do all sorts of things. So we're not always thinking about it, but going to that timeless place of experiencing our connection with Source and getting guidance from our Source is the bookends of my day. I would like to give techniques to people that you take and implement into your life. This doesn't mean you need an hour of practice, a half hour of practice, or even 10 minutes of practice. This can be done in 2 or 3 minutes. But I will say there is a warning on the package with this, though, as you know, Stephen, when the joy bubbles start to come, you might want more. So you might extend it to a 10-minute practice or to, and is that going to reduce my efficiency? No. My intent is that you experience the cost effectiveness of living in love and joy with breath as your vehicle for getting there.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Module 1 is called Finding Your Spiritual Heart and the Intelligence of Unity to Connect Directly with Source for Guidance.
Yes, and this is something we started out with today in our exercise. We did the circular breathing and we went to the Sacred Heart. And what I had intended to do, but what I didn't do, but what I'm going to throw in right now, and anyone who feels like it is able to do it, As you connect with Source, you can ask a question. You can say, what is most important for me at this point on my life path right now? And if you listen with your heart, the answer will come to you. It may come in the form of words or a feeling or a sense, but you have but to ask. And the intelligence of unity will put you right in connection with Source.
Beautiful. Module 2 is called The Intelligence of Love, Unlocking Purpose, Meaning, Fulfillment, and Pleasure.
Yeah, and here it's really embodying that love that you are, not talking about it, evaluating your life. That was a loving thing, that wasn't a loving thing. It's all the mind. So what we're looking for here is a direct experience of the love that you are. I might say that's worth the price of admission right there.
Module 3, The Intelligence of Life, allowing the dynamic unfolding of life from moment to moment.
Well, honestly, Stephen, when I first heard about this level of intelligence, I didn't get it. Life? What do you mean? Life is something that happens to you, and you try to do your best with what rolls, rather than no, life is a movie that I am co-creating right before me, and I have some say in co-creation about its outcome. So it's a participatory sport. It's not one that I'm laying back and hoping to do the best and survive at the most. And so to really experience the joy of co-creating life continuously is a game changer in terms of where you get your entertainment. You don't have to get it by taking a stimulant or a depressant or turning on and scrolling on the screen all day long. It's like it becomes eminently entertaining just to be in life and to trust. There's probably an apocryphal story about Albert Einstein on his deathbed. I don't know if this is true or not, but I like the story, so I'll keep telling it. When people were asking him, what do you want to leave us with, Al, before you die? And they all had their pencils ready to take another E equals MC squared or something. And he thought for a long while, and he said, I think the greatest question facing humanity is, do we live in a friendly universe or not? Now, again, when I first heard that, I thought, well, maybe the old boy has kind of lost his mind. And then I thought, no, what a brilliant. Who gets to decide whether this is a friendly universe or not?
We do.
And we are co-creators.
Beautiful. Module 4 then goes into the intelligence of respect, honoring your divine covenant to experience the joy of a mutually supportive world.
Yeah, that's where I started to get those joy bubbles when we were doing the exercise before, because to truly respect, takes us out of that continually judging everyone and everything. And boy, we are bombarded with information. They said, oh, we're entering universe of information. Well, we could say we're entering the universe of deciding what's information and what's misinformation. And so the mind is bombarded. It's continually going, can I trust that? Is that true? Is that really right? Da, 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 da. And it's like a ping pong match going on in your head all the time. When you leave that and you go to your heart, you will sense what's right for you. You will sense what resonates. You will have respect for your own covenant with Source and what's right for you in your life, and allowing others to have what's right for them without fear.
Great. Well, then we go to module 5, which says it's called the intelligence of honesty, opening to new opportunities.
Mm-hmm. And so here is where we, again, let life be more simple. And, the old phrase, oh, what a tangled web we weave when first we practice to deceive. It's like, what did I say to this person? Oh, and I got to remember what I say to that person. The communication technique that I taught people going through the school of integrative psychology was, don't say anything to anyone that you wouldn't say to that person about anyone that you wouldn't say directly in their presence. It's like, whoa, does that change life? Now, I can say I didn't like what Luigi did, and but I'm not casting aspersions on his character or his, I'm just saying, oh, I didn't like that action, but I still have faith that he's going to learn from that. He's going to, and I can be honest with myself and know when I'm trying to shade it a little bit this way or sugarcoat it a little bit that way, and take a breath, simply tell the truth. I got this from our mutual friend, Gay Hendricks. He said, always tell the undeniable truth. Well, what is that? Well, if I said, Stephen, I think that a program that you put on last week didn't have all correct information in it, and I'm scared that other people might be misinformed. Now, the way I said that was, I think, in other words, this was my thought about it, and this was my fear, rather than, and you can't say, no, you didn't think that, Jim. No, that's not your fear. No, it's unrefutable. I thought it. It's my fear. Now you can say, well, I hear what you're saying, and I will take a look and do some fact checking on that, and I've given you something. I haven't said, boy, you better be prepared for a big lawsuit because you're doing that. It's all judgment. So when we can learn to own our perceptions and own our feelings, we're not always in the right-wrong game. An exercise that I taught in my school, I'd have two people standing across from one another saying to each other, I'm right and you're wrong. And the other person would say, no, I'm right and you're wrong. No, I'm right and you're wrong. And it's hilarious because they'd see after a while, that's most discussions going on in life. Very passionate, we can get all excited about it, So we can take us back into where we want to put our passion in life, and that is co-creating, bringing out things that are new, just like we're doing right here.
So module 6, the intelligence of justice, restoring balance and harmony in every area of your life.
Justice gives me that opportunity to feel what's fair and to operate in a sense of equanimity in all of my relationships. A great relief to my life.
And finally, module 7, the intelligence of kindness, mastering goodwill in action.
Kindness is that gift of the parent to the child. It is a holding of the sacredness in every relationship. And that holding gives us a feeling of being wanted and needed here in our life. And when I emanate that to others, it comes back to me.
Beautiful. What a beautiful offering. It's really clear this is straight from your heart and all your decades of experience of the frontiers of breathwork to everyone participating. So, again, the whole program is laid out in detail at heartbreathwork.com. In addition to the 7 90-minute live sessions that we just described, you're also going to get your chance to ask your questions live of Jim, engage in different practices together. You'll get recordings of every session with video and audio, as well as word-for-word transcripts to work with, study, and highlight. There are weekly exercises for home. There's a Facebook community that you will really deepen your experience, as well as small group time to connect with other participants. And on the page, there are a number of great other extra bonuses that are going to enhance your journey. There's a video interview with Jim from our Breathwork Summit called Breathing and Body Themes, Releasing Unconscious Lifelong Holding Patterns. There's also a PDF book from Jim called Breathing in Light and Love, Your Call to Breath and Body Mastery. And one special bonus you get if you sign up right away by midnight tonight Pacific time is the Complete Breath, a professional guide to health and well-being. This is actually a 225-page PDF book that Jim has written. But Jim, you want to share a little bit about that special bonus folks get if they sign up today?
Well, it is in articles and wisdom from the great teachers in the field of breathwork and in other fields too. So it's not all just for me. It is an encyclopedia of wisdom in the areas of breathwork and research around breathwork.
Hmm. Well, it's clearly going to be an amazing program, and we've kept the investment very accessible for this program. It's just 3 payments of $128, or save 10% when you pay in full with one payment of $349. The course is going to start April 17th and run Thursdays at 5 Pacific, 8 Eastern. But even if you can't make the live times, you can still get the full value with the recordings, the transcripts, and the community as well. There's some great testimonials from so many eminent people about the quality of Jim's work and life, and his visionary healer, wise, clarity, involvement, attention to detail. So many beautiful things that are shared about Jim and his work. And he's here to offer this all into service to your healing and liberation and getting to where you have joy bubbles coming through your veins as well. So again, it's all at heartbreathwork.com, and you get that special bonus of the Complete Breath, a professional guide to health and well-being when you sign up by midnight tonight. And so, Jim, we're at the end of our time. Anything that's still on your heart you want to share with folks who are considering doing the full course with you?
Well, first of all, thank you for being here and staying with us until now. And I truly do open the doors of my heart and my consciousness to those with the courage to want to explore more deeply and to co-create the world that we want now.
Beautiful. Well, Jim, you just emanate so much wisdom and love and depth. So thank you for sharing that with us today. And thank you for this upcoming course, which is a beautiful opportunity to open to more love and healing and joy bubbles in your life. So you can do so again at heartbreathwork.com. Blessings.